Hi, welcome back to NDG Live. I'm your host, Jackie Hardy. Our next Broadway Dallas video segment features accomplished theater and TV actor Jacqueline Williams, who plays Calpurnia in the Harper Lee's adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird. Viewers can see this national tour at Music Hall at Fair Park in Dallas, starting now until May 28th. We hope you enjoy our conversation with Ms. Williams. Thank you. Once again, it's so good to meet you, Ms. Jacqueline. I have to tell you, I was excited when I saw your name since we have the same name and you spell it exactly
Yes.
the classical way, as I call it.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
there's many variations to how people spell it. Yeah. And so just so kind of introduce myself, I again am Jackie. I go by Jackie, but been
Okay.
working for North Dallas Gazette. We are a minority owned and operated newspaper, and we also have various platforms that we provide entertainment, news, and information. And one
Yes.
of those platforms is our digital platform, which is what this interview will be uploaded to our YouTube channel called NDG Live. So thank you
Okay.
for being willing to be here and our viewers to kind of get to hear from you. And kind of with that
Absolutely.
said, can you just kind of share a little bit about you to our viewers? Yeah.
Me myself or
Yeah, just kind of
Calpurnia.
introduction, a little bit of yourself, kind of where you hail from. I know you have a very accomplished theatrical and TV acting background.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's hard to recap all that. It's been, most of my life. But yes, I continue to work in theater, film, TV, and radio. My family's from the South. I come from a family of
Wow.
sharecroppers and cotton pickers. My family's from the Delta, and
Okay.
my father's side was from the Georgia area.
Oh, really?
And but I was raised in the Chicago area.
Okay.
And yeah, the I'm the youngest of four, and so
Yeah.
the others were had more time in Mississippi before
Okay.
the big move north.
Mhm.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, so I'm excited to return to the Dallas area. I was here several years ago with a different project for a couple months, so it's
Okay.
nice to play Dallas
Be
again.
in Texas. Yeah, yeah. We kind of claim the South as well here in Texas.
Yes, yes,
That's right.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. No, that is good. And like I said, I was able to go and see the show last night, and the performance yours was brilliant, and it was really powerful. And just to kind of start it off, you know, there's a little bit unfortunate here. This story is still relevant today, To Kill a Mockingbird. And
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to hear your take on that, on why it is so important for viewers to, for this story, I should say, to still be told and seen, even with
Mhm.
respect to where we are today.
Absolutely. In essence, we've made so little progress,
Mm,
and that is why we're still out here.
yeah,
And uh, uh, we still need to do better, and we can.
sure.
And what's different now is in past years, past decades, it was easier for some, essentially non-black and brown people to
Mm,
choose to have selected memory, or
mm,
you know a blind eye to a lot of the injustices that we have been
sure.
going through since pretty much
Dawn
the
of time.
beginning. Yes.
Right, sure.
And when the COVID, shut in happened, a lot more people were, watching TV, more people,
Yeah,
on their uh, computers and various,
mm,
social media, we're in that age. And it was impossible, to continue to have that selected memory or
right,
have those blind eyes to what we've
mm,
been going through.
yeah,
And uh, and that's why we're still out here. We still have a lot of work
absolutely,
to do, you know.
absolutely.
And
So,
yeah,
and
so
educate, because often, there's so
yeah,
much of our history that is being erased. So to still have these stories told is so critical. So the next generation, yeah,
absolutely,
knows
absolutely,
right, not to repeat it.
absolutely. Yes,
Yeah,
and uh, you know, it is really not that difficult. Sometimes things can be so simple that
yeah,
they're complicated to some
yeah.
folks,
Mhm.
and if we just learn to have some common
Sure,
respect and understanding of one
sure,
another, that can take us miles, miles,
absolutely. Agreed,
very simple
agreed.
thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you
But
mind?
it's yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you, Miss Jacqueline, do you mind too
uh,
pulling it up a little? Because sometimes your face gets cut off, and I don't want our view, I want him to see your
Pulling my
front. Yeah, maybe
you
there's perfect.
this way?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you so
All
much.
right.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's we've only played 2 nights here so far, but
yeah,
both nights I
okay.
have uh heard, from the audible, gasps or responses.
Mhm.
Obviously, a number of people that don't know this story,
Right.
and
That's a good point.
so it's really special for us to, um,
Mm,
for people's first experience with this story, people that haven't read the book, they didn't see the film, and they haven't
sure.
experienced this live
Mm,
theater event, that are coming in totally
mm,
new,
sure.
to the story. It's
Absolutely.
exciting for us to share
Mhm.
this with them, to have their first experience be this live event, because it's more than a book and it's more than the
That's
film. And you were there, you
that's
really
right.
take this journey with
Absolutely.
us.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, and on that, you are brilliant as
yeah,
Calpurnia in this role. And can you kind of speak to the importance of your role,
yeah.
specifically too with your relationship with Atticus? Yeah.
It's beautiful what Aaron Sorkin has done. He's, as we all know, quite brilliant. But he has fleshed out the roles of Calpurnia and Tom Robinson, who is, wrongly accused. So the two Black characters in this, he has fleshed out. So, like, what you don't really get with the book,
Yeah.
and you definitely don't get with the film, are the voices of these people,
Mm,
more in depth. And um, the relationship between Calpurnia and Atticus is really the central relationship
mm,
in this live
sorry.
theater event. And as Scout, his daughter explains it when Cal's
Yeah,
second introduction that she gives the audience, she says they really were like more like brother and sister, and
agreed.
it's
Yeah.
true. Uh, Cal has a long relationship uh, within this family that goes back to the kid's grandmother,
Right.
and
Right.
so there's there's a trust there
Sure.
between the two of them,
Mhm.
and they are very free to disagree with each other,
Absolutely.
to agree, to question
Challenge.
each
Right.
other,
Yeah.
and yes, absolutely,
Mhm.
and they have a playfulness within
Right.
them as well,
Yeah.
and because as liberal as Atticus is, there are just certain things that he cannot possibly know
Mhm.
or understand from the
Good.
Black perspective.
Right. Yeah.
And Cal,
Yeah.
she is often that voice.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm so glad you said
Yeah,
that because
so
that's kind of my next question. I would describe Cal as a quiet strength, but you see her strength on display when she kind of confronts Atticus after the verdict, has been revealed about Tom Robinson's
mhm,
fate. Because, he's the hopeful, optimistic, like you said. I mean, he has very progressive views, but there's still blind spots
mhm,
there. Yeah. And so,
sure.
where do you and or what do you draw from personally, if I may ask, Miss Jacqueline, to kind of because you really brought it. I mean, it was so brilliant that dialogue that y'all had. Kind of where do you pull
Thank you.
from personally, yeah, to accomplish that so that the audience can feel,
Mhm.
what you're trying to get him to do.
Yeah, basically, my life,
Okay.
I've been, Black in America for quite a bit of time now. And,
Sure.
with, Southern roots, and
Mm,
definitely, during a certain time,
sure.
it's all, life recall.
Right.
And, and, coming from a family with a great deal of caretakers and
Sure. Yeah.
housekeepers, and being a mother myself, uh
Absolutely.
yeah, just life in
Yeah.
this country,
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah.
it's been right there. So when we started to rehearse it, mainly the thing for me was connecting to, Richard Thomas, who is my
Mhm.
Atticus, um,
Mm.
and I've had almost a lifelong love of the book and the film, and you know, the late
Mm.
wonderful Mr. Gregory Peck. But it's like, uh, for this live theater event,
Sure.
Richard is my Atticus. So we
Wow.
just had to
That's awesome.
connect and,
Yeah.
find our relationship, which was very easy. He's
Yeah, sure.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful partner
Yeah.
to
And
have
that
there tonight.
transcends on stage. You can tell that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, good,
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. No, that's
Yeah,
awesome. That is
yeah,
awesome. And yeah, I totally agree. It probably have many, many memories that you can draw from, like you said, being
yeah.
African American in this country. Absolutely. There's a pain that we
Yes,
carry into almost every arena, yeah. And
absolutely.
you can draw
Yeah.
from that pain. Absolutely. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
is there a favorite scene that you have? And if so, why?
Oh, gee, I never thought about a favorite scene. So,
Uh-huh.
man, I can't even begin to answer that right now.
Okay.
Um, there are many that I definitely enjoy.
Mm,
Uh, one I enjoy listening to, and I definitely listen to every night, and sometimes I get to see it from the wings. I'm not even involved in it, which is
Really? Okay.
which
Wow.
is it's a section in Act One where uh, if you recall, there's a lot of set movement, and
Okay.
the kids are running around, and they're trying to spy on Boo
Oh
Radley,
yeah.
and Jim gets caught in the fence and all
Yes.
that,
His pants get
um,
ripped.
yeah, I just think it's beautiful, what
Yeah.
the music composers did
Hmm.
with it,
Sure.
what Bart Sher, the director, did with the movement and choreographing all of
Yeah.
that, staging
Wow.
what Aaron Sorkin did with the
Mhm.
script is just, I just
Right.
love it, because it's a time back to, you know, that childhood innocence
Yes.
and everybody's neighborhood kind of had a story, either
Right.
some older person that,
That's
was a
it.
certain way,
Yes.
or, don't step on that
Yes.
lady's porch,
That's
or,
right.
you better not step on her grass, or,
Yes.
everybody had something, or the mailman that,
That's right.
they either liked or they liked to bother, or, something. That's always
It's so
just a
funny you
really,
said that because I leaned over to my girlfriend and I was like, my friend that went with me, and I was like,
yeah.
everyone has that woman in their neighborhood. That's right. That you
Oh,
just
oh, you talking about Mrs. DeBose?
bows, yes.
Yeah, well, and you know who Mrs. DeBose is, right?
No.
Mary Badham, who played Scout in the film when
What?
she
Oh
was
wow.
9.
I had
That's
no
that's
idea.
yes, that's who we have
Yeah.
traveling with us.
Man, how
Yeah,
amazing is that? Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, that is so
yeah.
cool. I had no idea. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
And
man. And
and and she is the sweetest person. She is, you know,
yeah, nothing
no,
like her character.
oh, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
she's kind of our good luck charm we have with us.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, and I love what you said too about the childhood innocence because it's so heavy, the subject
yeah,
matter. And I
uh-huh,
love the way they beautifully kind of lighten some of those heavy moments with
hmm,
some of those kind of scenes in the play. Yeah, it's
yeah,
yeah, intertwined for sure. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And to kind of speak to the minority audience, because again, we are minority owned and operated newspaper.
yes,
I just wanted to hear from you, Miss Jacqueline. What would you hope that minority, particularly viewers, go and see this production? The because a lot of them when they're watching it, they're going to be able to firsthand relate to a Tom Robinson,
absolutely,
to right at Calpurnia because they've lived that. But
yes.
yeah, what would you hope the message that they kind of take away from that?
That to not give up hope, you
Yeah.
know, that we're still out here and we're still fighting and we're stronger now. We have more of a voice now, and we're not standing by
Yeah.
silently.
Yeah.
And and we are making baby steps,
Yeah. That's
and
right.
we put enough of those baby steps together, all of a sudden, we have half a mile, put
Yeah.
some more together, we got a mile,
That's right.
Yes.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
Hope always rises. Amen.
absolutely.
But we have to believe. I agree. That's so, so good.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to ask you, I read, I think it might have been New York Times where it said there has never been an empty seat. It's open to an empty seat. Like it packs theaters. And quite frankly, I can be attest to that because last night, it's a Wednesday, as we call it, a school night or work night, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was packed. Yeah, and just for
Wonderful.
you, how does it feel to be a part of that? It's this classical, honestly, production. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a joy and a blessing,
Um,
all the years that, like I said, it really has been one of my favorite books and one of my favorite films. And never, did I even
yeah.
imagine that there would be a live, theater
Yeah.
event of it. There's been more of a like a community theater script that has been, circulating for a number of years. but not this,
Okay.
not this
Yeah. Magnitude.
professional adaptation and brilliance of Aaron's.
Mhm.
It feels wonderful. It feels right because I know we still need it. So to take this around the country um, and remind people,
Mm.
help people, that
Help foster those conversations, quite
you
frankly.
know, absolutely,
Yeah.
because I hope that um, people, when they come in from whatever walk of life they come in,
Right.
that they leave,
Mm.
if not having discussion with, you know, um, others, their friends, their families, whoever they came with, at least having discussion with themselves,
Mm.
where they can ask and explore, what have I done in the past to make things better or worse? What can I do moving forward to really
Very
help? You
that's
know, uh, and that's huge if people
yeah.
can leave with that.
Mhm.
And theater, it's not just entertaining. And a lot of people don't realize you were there last night. A lot of people don't realize how much laughter and how much
Yes,
joy
it
that there
is
is in this piece.
so true.
So theater is
Yeah,
uh, not just entertainment,
that's
it's
it.
also enlightenment, and theater can also heal, you know. So,
Mm, that's good.
so it's
That's right.
it's
That's
uh,
right. And it's like a
a ch-
neutral kind of way to have these conversations, you know?
yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
that's right. Because when
yeah,
everyone comes, they're not coming defensive, hopefully. Yeah. So I
yeah.
I I agree. And the way you guys tell the story and make it your own, it leaves a lasting impression, honestly. It really does. So
Awesome,
it didn't even
awesome.
feel like you were watching a play. It felt like real life. Quite
Yes, yes, yeah, because
honestly.
you really do take the journey with us,
Yeah, absolutely. And it just
Yeah.
speaks to just y'all's talent and skill, seriously, Miss Jacqueline. So
Oh,
thank you. That was the best 2 hours, well, a little over 2 hours of my week, honestly. It really was.
awesome.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our conversation with Ms. Jacqueline Williams. We also encourage you to check out this brilliant masterpiece, To Kill a Mockingbird, as NPR deemed it as one of the greatest plays in history. You can see To Kill a Mockingbird at Music Hall at Fair Park starting now until May 28th. Just head over to BroadwayDallas.org for ticket information. Thank you again for watching and have a great day.